Shalom, Kol Halal, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rakakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles, double honors unto the elder bishops. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so now more so than ever. The 144,000 and the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth among the heathen that look like those heathens, the Israelite foreigners, and to the few Akwaf that are listening and learning. To you, I say Shalom. This is your brother Malcolm from the branch of the Great Millstone here in Chicago, coming at you with another lesson in truth. And this video is called Jewish Americans Show Their DNA Results. We Not Jews. What? With a question mark. Let's see if I can pan out and get the title. There it is. Someone will ask. So there it is. And this is from Go Black to Africa, which is why would you go black to Africa when our homeland is Israel? All right, it actually makes no sense. And they got a crown on that a golden part of that northern part of Africa, and the western part of Africa, because that's mainly where the Southern Kingdom migrated to. Those of them that went into Africa, fleeing from the Roman destruction of from Titus Vespasian and Domitian. All right, when Rome fell in 70 AD, which I'm going to present some evidence, to that point, to touch on a few other points. But I just want you listeners to know and understand that DNA is not the way DNA can and has been falsified. All right, you can falsify DNA, and you had a group of Israeli scientists admit that. All right. Because the truth of the matter is, these Khazarians, all right, though they call themselves Ashkenazi, it's just another breadcrumb to throw you off the path of who they really are. They're not of Ashkenaz. They are not Japhetic people. There are not two sets of white people. All right, there's no such thing. First of all, there's no such thing as white people, and there's definitely not two sets of them. So this has to be said. All right. All Cajuns of Call, all right, are of the same lineage. They're all of Edom, the nation of Edom, and the pale people who refer to themselves as Edomites. Their first cave home was in Petra, which is south of Israel. So they are from that part of the world. They are from Western Asia, all right. You got Western Asia, the Far East, which is part of Asia. You got Southern Asia, where a lot of Elamites live, all right? And then you have Western Asia, which is what they fraudulently and falsely call the Middle East. So, and most of the people that live in the Middle East are not the original inhabitants. Canaanites live mostly in this area of Southern Asia, what you would call Africans, the sons of Canaan, who got cursed. That's why they lost the land, right? Remember, Ham cursed his son Canaan. All right, and Ham, not Ham. I did it again. Noah cursed his son Ham, and he cursed it. Well, he actually cursed his son Ham's. He cursed Ham's son Canaan. All right, and the Canaanites lived in the area what's today is referred to literally all the way from Iraq, all the way back up into Egypt, where the land of Israel sits today. All right, when Joshua and the Israelites were fighting the Hamites, fighting the Canaanites, Canaan is the son of Ham, and Ham is the progenitor of the dark races. But not, matter of fact, let me just get it. All right, let me just get it. I'm going to read it from the Young's. The Zondervan's Dictionary Bible is the one probably used the most, but the Young's Dictionary Bible is actually the better definition of given a breakdown. All right, and in the Young's Dictionary Bible on page, it's on 2 pages because it's at the end. It's the last definition, so it bleeds over into the next page, and it's on page 255 and 256. All right, and it reads, Ham, a son of Noah and father of Cush, Put and Canaan, all right? Put would be Libya, all right? Canaan is what you refer to as fraudulently referred to as the Middle East. All right, but it says a son of Noah and father of Cush put Egypt and Canaan. See further on each of these four. While they all may have been dark-skinned, they were not, turn it to 256, the forefathers of the Negroid races. So what this definition is telling you, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that the Negroes are not Hamitic. They're not from Ham. All right? But they fraudulently, use the curse of Ham as an excuse to enslave these Negroes who are not Hamitic at all. And then they never tell you who they are. All right? And they're definitely not Japhetic. They're not the sons of Japhet. And then, so they have to be, so who's only left is Shem. All right? There isn't some fourth unknown son that was on the ark, and the Negroes came out of that son. The unnamed, unknown, subhuman son. Some retarded, the Esau Edom is just a horrific and horrible liar. They push that lie. So nevertheless, that's letting you know that Canaan, and hold on, let me finish the definition. It says, not the father of Negroid races, but rather the peoples associated with Egypt, because Canaan came out of one of Mizraim, came out of one of Egypt's sons. The Canaanites were associated with Mizraim there in the northern part of Egypt. All right, and it says with Egypt in the north of the continent of Africa. The Egyptians thought of Canaan as one of their provinces even into the very late times. So the Canaanites were like under the authority of, they said that they would serve their brothers in their brothers' tents. So the Canaanites were like under the authority of Mizraim. And the Canaanites lived in the area which they fraudulently call the Middle East today. All right. Babylon was home of the Canaanites. All right. And they were great people for a time. All right. Until they got, conquered. So now that we got that out the way, we're going to let this play. And be wary too of these guys with these Hollywood quality openings and videos. All right. Like, for example, let's just let it play.
What's up, family?
Who came out of nowhere. Where's his street ministry? Where's his full beard? Who knows this guy? So this guy, his style of videos and the way he moves around and travels around and the way his videos are done, this guy is funded. And there's no doubt in my mind. So what Esau likes to do is they try, when they can't stop this truth. So what they've done is they infiltrated it so that they can change up and switch up the message. All right. And that's, so just be wary of people like this. All right. Who, that just come out of nowhere and have these Hollywood studio quality videos and all this backing and, just something to think about. But here we go. It's going to play about 5 minutes of this. Let them speak. And then I'm going to a few scriptures. And then I'm going to also present some evidence about the Judeans, the Israelites.
This is your man, not your boy. Bringing you another gold nugget that you can either pick up or you can just kick it aside. I want to share a video with you all because there are those Jews who are coming out stating that they have taken a DNA test. Now, for many of you all that don't know, it is illegal, from what they say, to take DNA tests in Israel. Now, I'm not going to get into the so-called laws of why it isn't, but I find that there are many now people who live in other countries outside of Israel who are doing DNA tests just to see how much of them being either Ashkenazi or Sephardic or just right out just European. And these two videos I want to share with you all is out of their own mouths, showing there is no connection to the land. There is no connection to a people. There is no to a people who the Bible speaks of. Check out this video and please watch after this video because it's important what this Bible says.
I wanted my hepatitis
Wow,
C
and then they
gone.
put up a commercial. When I watched this, it was no damn commercial. Fuckers.
I'm about to show you something extremely controversial. It's even illegal in the state of Israel to obtain this. And if you do obtain it, it's illegal to show it and or talk about it. Ladies and gentlemen, my DNA. Now, I bet you thought it was going to be a lot crazier than that, right? Now, you might ask yourself, why is it illegal to obtain this in the state of Israel? Because it proves through your DNA that Jews around the world have no ancestral ties to the land of Israel. Because it proves through your DNA that Jews around the world have no ancestral ties to the land of Israel.
Now notice I didn't watch the whole video, but the name Edom never popped up in this video. This was what I mean by trying to control the narrative. And though they have no historical ties to the land of Israel, they do have historical ties to Edom, which is just south of Israel, literally a walking distance from Israel. All right, just below it. But that's not mentioned because they're trying to hide the fact who Edom is. They don't want to be labeled as Edom. It's Amalek, and that's who the bulk of these people are. All right, and they're trying to pass off this whole Ashkenazi thing, and you chase this invisible make believe bloodline of people that will pale, and yet Japhet was a melanated people, still is. They're still around. All right, today you call them Australians, you call them Aboriginals of Australia, you call them Hawaiians, you call them Samoans, you call them Tongans and things of that nature. They were the Picts. Picts meaning they all the tattoos and stuff on their faces and their skin and their dark flesh. All right, the Picts were not pale people like this guy. All right. So what they don't do is they don't acknowledge land migrations and how people changed their places, how landmarks were removed. All right, that's where all this confusion comes from today.
We Jews have been in the land of Israel since the times of biblical Joshua.
Now let's pause it. It says Arabs arrived in Israel in 637 CE. Facts. So they weren't there. All right, and Arab just means monger. It's a mix. It's a mix between Elam and a mix between Ishmael. But for the most part, the Palestinians are Ishmaelites that went there during this time, during the Dark Ages. All right, and the Israelites, not the Jews. All right, all 12 tribes. You can't call all of the 12 tribes a Jew or Jewish. That's some shit they made up. All right, arrived much earlier before that. Okay. All right, and they're giving you the time dates around the time it happened. And it was all 12 tribes that were there, all 12 sons, when they came into Egypt, came into that land around that time, all right, during the time of Joshua. All right, when they took it from the African Canaanites. All right, Canaanites were not Shemitic. Canaanites were Hamitic, sons of Ham, what you call Africans today, the people in the sub-Sahara. They got forced out of North Africa and out of Western Asia, which they fraudulently call the Middle East. So they're not acknowledging, all right, the moving around and the scattering of people. All right. So let's take that back a little bit. When she boldly, with a smile on her face, because tells a lie that she's been taught. She doesn't even know she's lying. But the people above her definitely know. She's just regurgitating what she's been taught her whole life. But she's been taught lies. That's why the scripture says in Jeremiah, surely, we have inherited lies. Even though they was talking about Israelites, but you can relate that to, the heathen at this point.
We Jews have been in the land of Israel since the times of biblical Joshua.
Who is we?
You correct, sir.
No, really, who is we? You live in Israel, so I don't expect you to be able to provide genetic or ancestral receipts for your claims about us Jews, because those kinds of receipts are illegal in Israel without a court order and other special permissions. The Jerusalem Post explains such a thing cannot...
You see, they have all kind of laws over there to protect, to keep the truth from coming out. Just like a certain event that happened in World War II that starts with an H. The number one go-to anytime anyone disagrees with them, you get labeled an anti something. All right. You can't bring up evidence or speak about the fraud. You can't speak about how 1 and 1 does not add up to 2 when you deal with them. 1 and 1 adds up to 3. All right. You can't bring out the information that goes contrary to the controlled narrative which has been pushed on the whole world, which is their number one card that they throw in the face anytime that they're criticized for their actions or anything that they do. They use the media to point out that they're victims. This is what they do.
Exist as kits sold directly to the public, going on to say that they have possible effects on subjects and their families. Furthermore, the national implications of these tests could hold or affect, nice grammar, Jerusalem Post, could hold or affect with Israel being a government-recognized Jewish state. Don't you just love when they say the quiet parts out loud? But since they won't let you get receipts for us Jews, I brought my own. Wow. So I, an Ashkenazi, have no genetic or ancestral ties to the region of historic Palestine.
Now that's not true. All right? Even though he's showing you all this stuff, because even the people in Finland, all right, those people, black people took over Europe, all right, after the fall of Rome. So you had first you had Alexander went in there and whitewashed all of Europe and all of a majority of Asia, all right, North, South, and Western Asia and Europe. All right, this is the part of the world we're talking about. North Africa, Europe, and all of Asia. Remember, the so-called Middle East is a part of Asia. Alexander pretty much dominated that and lightened up and whitewashed that whole area for the most part. Okay? Then, after the fall of Rome, the Negroes took over all of Europe. Every place that you're looking at, right now on the screen. All right? And so to go and try to get and then white people took it back over and they have it now. That was the Renaissance, the rebirth of Rome. All right, so you see why DNA. There's no way. And then when you consider the bloodlines that intermixed and intermingle and that are still there, there's no way that you can do it. You can't go to a landmass, take the blood samples of the people that are there now. All right, and then assume that you're going to be able to say that. You can't do that with Scotland, Ireland, or England. There's no way you can go to Ireland and take the blood samples of Irish people and then try to make them the same people that was there during the time when they were fighting the Romans, because they're not. And before that, they're not. When they were fighting the Greeks, they're not the same people. They don't acknowledge migrations, and the reason that they don't acknowledge this is all for the simple fact that they're trying to disassociate themselves with Esau, Edom, because they know what happens in the Bible to Esau, Edom. But guess what? The Bible tells you that Esau, Edom will have dominion and control of the world. And they do. They're in rulership of the world now. They're losing it. But they're the people that are controlling the world. Remember, Esau, Edom is the control of the world upon the return of the Lord. That's Isaiah 63. All right?
I, an Ashkenazi, have no
genetic or ancestral ties to the region of historic Palestine.
And yet Israel still claims it's my homeland, which I could move to and become a citizen of under the ironically named Law of Return.
Have you heard of the Kuali?
Yeah, that's us. That's me, actually.
Okay, so what is your... this is a question that comes from outside of Israel. What is your opinion about the theory that Ashkenazim came from Kuali?
It seems relevant. It's quite obvious that white Jewish people, Ashkenazim from Europe, are not genetically, as much as I can tell, I'm not an expert, but they don't look the same like Arab Jews, people that came from Arab countries.
And for the most part, an Arab Jew, the Jews were never Arabs. the Jews were Israelites. All right. So, but just to change it up a little bit, we're going to go to this book just to further produce some evidence about the falseness of the. This is a book. It's called let me move it over. You can see the title. This is an old book from 1833. I'm actually holding it, and I'm holding it in my hand here. All right, here, hold on. Let me turn the light on. See, I have the book, same book in my hand, and it's from 1833, and it's called Customs. Even though this one's 1837, so this is one this mine is even older because mine is from 1833. Right. Matter of fact, I even show you the one in my hand. All right. As you can see. All right. It's called The Manners and Customs of the Jews and Other Nations Mentioned in the Bible. All right. It's from the London Printing Press, Religious Tract Society, 1833. So mine is, a couple years older than the one that's on the screen. So I'm going to go to particularly this image in the book because the page I want to show you, they conveniently made sure that they didn't show that. But this is basically showing you what you're looking at is Western Asia. All right. That's what you're looking at right there. Western Asia, Saudi Arabia, Jordan, Yemen, Oman, United Arabs, Emirates, Iraq, Syria, Israel, Syria, Turkey. That's basically what you're looking at on the map right here. Okay? So to make that clear. So what I'm going to show you is the currency from the time of the rule of the Maccabees on page 108. As a matter of fact, because this is more of a historical lesson, biblically based. But I want to get this scripture right here. And that's Psalms 85 and 11. And I'm going to show this evidence from page 108. As to show you the Esau Edom is a lie. Because, it's like the script that, and it's going with the language. Hold on, where is it? This is Psalms 85 and 11, and it reads, "Truth shall spring out of the earth, and righteousness shall look down from heaven." And that truth being information like this. The Lord left golden information behind. All right? What you're looking at is the money, all right, from the time of the Maccabees, which was the currency that was being used when Judea fell. All right? You can clearly see that that's there Shemai. What is that? Shemai to Tazah. All right? When you get up to here, well, Shemai, Yasha Tazal, Shabal Kak. So you're looking at the Phoenician, the Paleo Hebrew on the money, the front and back sides of the money. Now they have these coins in museums. All right. Let's turn the page 10. All right. Judah Copta. You see Judah tied to a tree with chains around his ankles. All right. That was the coins that were being used. And here's the legend is the shekel of Israel, the branch of alludes to Aaron's rod that budded. The words are Jerusalem the holy. So, but there you go. So you have to ask yourself, if these are the people that are from the land, and this was your culture, then why would you use the Assyrian Hebrew? The Judeans never had interactions with Assyria as far as being enslaved by them. The northern kingdom did. All right. But yet these people are claiming to be the southern kingdom, claiming to be the Jews. Then why don't they write the language that the Jews used? They write a whole different type of script that the Jews were never even exposed to. Call halal Yahweh Shalom Shai Ba'Shem Rakak Wadash. Kwam Yasharala.